Is pornography use okay in marriage? In many ways, most people view pornography for their own personal arousal and their own personal satisfaction. Yet sex was intended to be a mutual, self-sacrificial love between a husband and a wife. There's a lot of chemicals in the brain that are bonding a married couple together. One of the most important is oxytocin, where it actually is bonding the two together during sexual intercourse. And when one partner in the marriage is viewing pornography, the oxytocin is actually being used to connect them and the device that they're doing. And slowly what's happening is they're not deepening the bond in the marriage. They're actually slowly pulling that bond apart over the days. In fact, in 2004, there was a study done on pornography in marriage, and what they found was there was a 300% increase of likelihood in an affair if one partner was viewing pornography, which again makes sense. If this starts to happen, the likelihood that they seek out other sexual partners becomes high because they're slowly giving themselves over to their own sexual appetites when viewing pornography. It's no longer about the other person, but it's about my personal arousal and my personal wants and needs. They also found that in 2016 that divorce rates doubled when pornography was in the picture. And again, we see that reinforcement when you're not bonding with your partner and you're bonding with something else and you continually give over to your selfish sexual pleasures over the days, the weeks, the months, the years of a marriage, things become further and further apart. I heard people say, well, if we watch it as a couple and just to kind of learn and develop in our own sex life, is that a problem? Well, that's a great question. But where I would go with that question is, in many ways, when we're watching other people engage in sex, we are becoming voyeurs. We are watching the most intimate scene played out in somebody else's life, when they're the most vulnerable and the most personal. And we have not entered into any bonds or any covenant or any commitment with that person. So in effect, pornography creates voyeurs out of us, seeing the most intimate acts of a couple that's not of our own spouse. In fact, research has shown in a marriage relationship, when people are viewing pornography, women have a lower self-esteem, their partners are more critical of their bodies, and they're pressured to perform acts that they've seen in pornographic films in ways that they hadn't wanted to do. And men, they're actually more critical of their partner's bodies, and they're actually less interested in actual sex.